All right, welcome, folks. Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. Hey, listen, this is no joke. I have tried to record this and tape it at least a dozen times in the last 30 minutes, and it has been interrupted. Whether it is the mosquito squad guy showing up, ringing my doorbell, the dog's barking, the UPS guy, the U.S. Postal Service guy, Amazon, or my brother trying to call me and my screen popping right up in the middle of it. The devil doesn't want me getting this message out today. And so, you know what? I'm pressing on, and hopefully it is well received. But you want to talk about getting rattled. I am, it's just absolutely amazing. So this is going to be a monkey minute. God willing, it is about 11:39 now, and it is going to be May 12th, 2022. And so without further ado, let's hop over to a screen. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information here. First of all, let me give you a background on this. I've got a lot of members I trust wholeheartedly that have presented this information to me through basically articles that I could not really pull the thread on to get to this document. And so I just said, hey, let's take it with a pinch of salt until we can actually validate it, right? And so one of the things that I like to do, and if you followed me for a while, you know, I try to validate everything that I present to you because I don't want to be like everybody else, right? I want to be able to say, no joke, you know, I pulled the thread on this and it is legit. And so this is one of those documents that has the ability to really disrupt a lot of things if it is incorrect and inaccurate data. And the fact that it is real now becomes a very big concern for all of us. Now, I will tell you, I saw Michelle Bachmann talking about it. She was over on Steve Brannon's show in his war room, and I respect Michelle, and I think that she is a good Christian woman. I've watched her for a while over on Jan Merkel's site. And Tom Hughes actually presented this to me as well. He's actually the one that gave me the document. And as I started to pull the thread, now I will tell you, I've gone back in and I do a lot of the metadata search on the documents. I look for anomalies that I know make a document kind of indicate that it would not be real or accurate. And so my initial blush on this was that it was not accurate because I was finding different fonts, okay? But then as I went back and looked at some of the archives within the World Health Organization on their documents and their headers specifically, I found those same anomalies. So that would indicate that this is indeed a real document, okay? So with that said, I'm sure most of you have heard about this. If you haven't, we need to pay very close attention to it, okay? This is data that's being presented. It's old data that's being kind of rehashed. And so they're taking some of the old annexes and articles that had been presented to the World Health Organization years ago, all the way back to 2005, and they're basically updating them. They've redlined them, they've marked them up, and they're presenting them. Now, this document was created 12 April 2022. It's for the 75th Assembly, that's at A75, and 18 is part of the document that we're going to look at right here. Now, the agenda item is 16.2, and so I will show you, because I did pull the thread, that it is indeed on the agenda. Now, the things that caught my eye right out of the gate, just to kind of show you, this right here is Arial, okay? Everything else in this, for the most part, is Times New Roman. That caught my eye, but it is indeed consistent with the other WHO documents that are out there on their archive, okay? Now, it was presented, this little annex here, you can see this is a scanned document for Geneva 20, January 2022, that was submitted. And then you go on down, this is another scanned document that is actually being loaded in. 4-22 is the number on it. The permanent mission of the United States of America and the United Nations and other international organizations in Geneva. Now, this was written and put together. This is where it gets a little wonky. Now, note the date, 18 January 2022. We had the other one, 20 January. So the dates are a little bit jonky, right? But this is a letter from Health and Human Services Assistant Secretary Lois Pace. I will show you her in just a second. So I did go look her up. It's got a stamp. It is a scanned document in there. Now, what they did was they took an original submitted document on this regulation with all of these articles from 2005, and they basically marked it up. Okay, so you can see the red lines in here. Now, this was originally marked up in a Word 365 document. It has since, they converted it to a PDF and they put it out there. Typically, you convert something to the PDF so that somebody can't take it and manipulate it, all right? With the tool sets we have today, you could do that. I could actually go in and edit a lot of this document through my Adobe DC stuff that's, through the Adobe suite, right? And so the Creative Suite. But that said, this is actually posted out there. Now you can go to apps.who.international. I will give you a link in the description so you can go look at this and read it yourself. It is very concerning because it gives the World Health Organization the authority to basically lock down anybody, anywhere. It is overreaching power, and it's around the world. And so the United States is basically giving them the authority to lock us down if they deem necessary in the event of a major outbreak or a pandemic, okay? And so that takes away our ability to do it. It's a third party, and we know we don't trust the WHO to begin with. But what you see going on in China right now, same kind of thing, only it'd be the WHO that would come in and say, we deem you need to lock down and you have to do it, okay? It gives them a lot of other powers. But anyway, go through and read this. I'm going to attach the link in it. Very concerning. Definitely not good. And this is coming up here in a few weeks for the vote, okay? Now, this is Lois Pace. She is the Assistant Secretary for Global Affairs. So you can read a little bit on her here, right here. But you can see this is definitely real. She has submitted it. She actually is the one that redlined and marked this bad dude up and submitted it, okay? And it is part of the agenda. If you get over here to WHO-track, this is basically gives you all of the agenda and the pieces that go into it. Here it is, 16.2, just like I showed you, strengthening WHO preparedness and strengthening WHO preparedness for and response to health emergencies. And so here it is right here, 7518, proposal for amendments to the International Health Regulations 2005. That's this document, and that is the marked up document. Okay, so it does correlate on the agenda 16.2 right here, and A7518. All right, so dated a month ago. So they are slipping this in, fast paced. It's going to get voted on the assembly floor in front of God and country. So there is that. But yeah, this also, I will attach the thing so you can go look at it. But this is the WHO tracker. This pulls in everything that's coming up, shows you who's going to be at the meeting, all the agendas. You can go through and read it. They do that for every one of these. So needless to say, it is a real and a legit document, and it is a very real and legit concern for all of us. Okay. Now, let's get over here real fast. I just want to show you something as we kind of get into the Monkey Minute. I could have spent forever on that WHO piece, but I just want to get that out in front of you to show you that I did pull the thread and it is legit. Okay, now, here's one for you. There goes the housing market. We are on the precipice of what they believe another housing bubble and a collapse. You've probably seen it. We've watched it around our country. Housing prices have been going through the roof. I know mine has gone astronomically high, and it is there's really nothing to justify it. It's just people are paying more and more and more. We're seeing that in the automobile industry, right? There's people that want to go buy a car. They're paying $100,000 over sticker to get a car that's worth about $100,000. So they're paying 2x to get something. So sooner or later that corrects itself. The market's going to correct itself. This would be an indicator that we're about to watch a major bubble collapse, just like we had in 2008. Now, you may remember we reported on the China piece that they had Evergrande was the largest realtor company in the world, or real estate company. It is 26.9% of China's GDP. They fell short on making their payments, right? For months and months and months. It's just been getting dragged along, and then it kind of went quiet because they were trying to slowly let the air out of the balloon, because if they just allowed them to default, it would have collapsed everything, and we would have been right back into the 2008 issue, okay? But it looks like that is coming again, because everything is overpriced, and they're saying that the demand is starting to slow, and that you're going to see everything drop out of the bottom. So not good. Just a heads up, again, with all the other calamity going on around the world, just add this one. It's just, you're just adding more salt to the wound, so to speak, right? Okay, let's move on over to the other piece of this. As you know, Flashbang is actually headed over. He's going to be visiting Jerusalem, but he's there to make an unprecedented statement, and he's already been given kind of a green light on what he's going to be talking about. This is going to take place in June, but the claim is that he's going to visit the eastern section of Jerusalem with a clear message of support for establishing a Palestinian capital right there in the middle of Israel, which is going to go over like a turd in a punch bowl. So just a heads up, I will tell you that any president that has tried to divide the state or done anything that is not within God's sovereign plan to disrupt things usually has a pretty bad outcome back on either them or their country. And so continue to watch it, but that is not a good scenario. But Israeli 365 News, just putting that out there. Not that we would expect anything different from him, but just a data point, okay? Now, here's one for you. This is off the Watcher site. Looks like there's going to be a total lunar eclipse taking place on May 16th. This is actually going to be a super blood moon, which is interesting. So just want to point that out there. This is always kind of an interesting deal. It is very ominous when you see these super blood moons. I don't know where it's going to be over at the moment. Usually you can go out to time and date on that website and actually look at who's going to get the super blood moon. But anyway, May 16th, 2022, visible here in America, Europe, and Africa. So, all right. Now, again, over here on the Watcher site, I just want to show you a couple things on Australia. They've been getting hammered. And this one here is unseasonably heavy rains hit Queensland, Australia. They're saying they had 3 to 4 months worth of rain in 48 to 72 hours. So keep them in your prayers. That is unprecedented. That is, you're talking 3 or 4 months of rain in 2 days. That's a lot of water. So anyway, just a little bit of intel on that one. And then over here to South Africa, also on the Watchers, it looks like they are headed for another year of record-breaking power cuts. And so they're saying that the demand is increased tremendously, and that they're not going to be able to keep up with that. And so looks like they are also going to be feeling that energy crunch like the rest of the world. So every continent seems to be getting it. Europe is getting it. Africa is going to be getting it. And I'm sure it's coming here to the U.S. with all of our shortages and everything else. So buckle up, man. This seems to be one crazy year. I can't say I didn't expect it, but this is a great time to be strong in faith. And just, man, I'm telling you, just stay prayed up, because these are unprecedented times for sure. So, all right, listen, that's going to be it for today. You guys be safe out there, stay frosty, and keep that powder dry. God bless. Monkey out.